Welcome to Scare Zone Halloween Horror Nights podcast. Bart Scott, how the Halloween are you?
Doing great, man.
And there was a big announcement today. We're going to read through the press release. And it's a little hot here in the studio. So just fair warning, if we seem like we're out of breath,
Getting hot in
it's
here.
just
Actually,
because...
it got hot.
What?
I saying it's getting hot in here, but
It's already hot.
it's actually there.
The air conditioning went out. So if it seems like we're out of breath or something like that, know that it's not just because we're excited. It's because we're sitting in a room that's like 90 degrees.
That's right.
So, fair warning. So I'm going to start this. This was an email that we received this morning from Halloween Horror Nights from the press release press team. Got a press release. I'm going to pull it up, tell you what it was titled, because I realize I have everything but that title in front of me. But y'all have already seen it. Universal's Halloween Horror Nights marks its 30th year with the debut of Halloween Horror Nights Icons Captured. The most notorious Halloween Horror Nights icons in Universal's Orlando history will join forces to inflict unimaginable terror upon guests in the all-new haunted house, original haunted house. Halloween Horror Nights Icons Captured. The sinister new experience will thrust guests into a monstrous hell of fame where they'll face the Caretaker, the director, the usher, the storyteller, Jack the Clown, Chance, and more as part of Halloween Horror Nights 2021, celebrating 30 years of fear select nights from September 3rd through October 31st. And then they go and they talk about each icon. They talk about the Caretaker, a once well-respected surgeon who has become eerily infatuated with the removal of internal organs, especially while his patients are conscious. The director, an aspiring filmmaker obsessed with capturing the suffering and the torture of his victims on film, placing them in their own living horror movie. The usher, who seeks to invoke violent vengeance on those who don't follow the rules of the theater. That is like the when you read that after these, you're like, he does not follow the rules of the theater. Like, that's a bit okay. The storyteller, who stops at nothing and trap guests into her latest tales of terror, where no one lives happily ever after, and Jack the Clown, the original Halloween Horror Nights icon and most feared of them all, and his assistant Chance, a deadly pair who thrive on tormenting victims in ways that they embody their own sick sense of humor. This fall, the cruelty and madness of this collection of foreboding figures will be unleashed in Halloween Horror Nights Icons Captured. Guests will quickly realize they're the hunted as they desperately try to escape the grasp of each character with its own ominous domain, from the storyteller's infamous bed or razor-sharp nails to the cadaver-filled mortuary run by the Caretaker. Harrowing horrors, that's hard to say, will await guests at every turn, giving them no chance but to face the most horrifying legends in Halloween Horror Nights history. And there you go. And now I can breathe. We did see kind of this... what appears to be like a Scare Zone setup.
Right.
A lot of pictures have come out the last few days, but this is fun. I'm glad it's not just Jack. We're getting the whole slew of them. Again, makes me wonder why there have not been any new icons when they clearly love to celebrate them every 5 years.
Well, yes, but I am very happy that they're bringing back a couple that I've never seen. Well, I'm happy, first of all, that Chance is going to be a part of it.
Yeah, and even in the image has Lady Luck from Halloween Horror Nights 21.
From what I've seen of Lady Luck, now obviously I didn't go that year, and I've heard people complain about that year.
It's the least well-reviewed year of Halloween Horror Nights, I'd say, in history.
But it's to me, it seems like kind of a cool character, and she's very different from a lot of the other icons because she's not just all black and drab. She's got the green dress, and now she turns into one. I went back and looked at, there's a Halloween Horror Nights wiki, and they said she's like a soul-sucking succubus.
She kind of changed.
Yeah, I like that.
And she was also very minor throughout the whole Halloween Horror Nights 21.
Yeah.
Like, she was kind of off in a corner in a scare zone.
They said she didn't have her own house, but she appeared in every other house as a different character.
Oh, I see. At that point, I was not putting those pieces together.
At one point, she's a nurse, and at one point, she's a this and that.
Oh, I vaguely remember that. But she had, like, just one spot. I remember with the spinning wheel and all these things, and it was just kind of over where, like, Sting Alley. Like, that was it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then Fear, which I don't know a lot about.
I guess Fear is sort of overarching this, because I don't see Fear in any of the imagery. But Fear was kind of like a spirit character.
I think it's when you watch there was a video.
Was it the video?
On the website. Okay. I think they showed Fear specifically. Mm-hmm. So that's interesting. I like that because we've seen, now I didn't realize until you just read that the Caretaker was a surgeon.
Yeah, I remember that vaguely.
I've always thought of Caretaker as like, he took care of the house or something, or the cemetery.
I always thought of him as like an undertaker.
That's what he looks like, an undertaker. Yeah. So that makes more sense. The director's back, right? Did you read that?
Yeah, everyone.
The usher, director,
but Bloody Mary is back.
Yeah,
everyone else, and that is supposed to be some reasons.
No, and also one that everybody thought for sure was going to be back
Oh,
for the
the
30th.
Terror
Terror
Queen.
Queen.
Yeah, I mean, it's
But is still rumored to have a scare zone
okay.
on all the rumor stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, I never thought the Terror Queen is a real icon. Just
Really?
saying, I don't want to be offended. It's not. It'd be
Dude,
like
she rode a motorcycle.
It'd be like Bone Daddy. You know, it's like it was there. Does
I
that count?
thought that I was very disappointed they didn't do more with that.
No
that
Bone
was
Dad.
he was such a cool looking character.
Yo, totally.
That's probably my favorite Tervis. Besides, I've got the Jack Tervis, of course. The 25th.
So where's Bone Daddy on this?
Yeah, no mention. Maybe he'll show up. They
other
say
than-
and more, so maybe he'll show up in that house.
It was
somewhere.
such an interesting time because you had from 2000 to from 2008. When was it? I don't remember when. 21. So 10 years ago.
Yeah, 21 was Lady Luck.
Was Lady Luck. So that was the last time there was an icon. But some reason, other than if you count Chance,
Other than Jack
I
and
mean,
Chance.
a new character.
Oh, an original. Okay.
a new character. We haven't seen a new character that had an overarching theme, an icon in over a decade now.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that they reached back into this, but it is weird that I understood like The Walking Dead became the icon for multiple years, but for 1 year, and they moved into that phase where they felt like they didn't need those characters, those
That's
original
true.
characters, but or that big IP, Stranger Things, Ghostbusters, that became the overarching theme. But this year, looking at this and the new merchandise that's come out, to me, it's like no, they're saying this is the overarching theme. Is Halloween Horror Nights 30,
Which I like.
I do too. I like it a lot.
I like that the focus is their own original characters. You know, it's funny. Like I'm looking at this, my Tervis from 25, and you've got Jack, and you've got the director, and you've got the storyteller and the caretaker, and then you got
Chucky ruining it.
Just randomly Chucky. I mean, and I like it, and it's funny because it freaks out some of my daughter's friends when I have my Chucky cup out.
But it's weird.
But yeah, that's funny. Like they're not afraid of any of these other characters, but Chucky, I guess, because they know. Which is weird to me that they know Chucky, even though they've never seen anything.
Oh yeah, my
Chucky
kids know
related.
Chucky. They know the idea of Child's Play, but
I mean, now they're seeing commercials for the Chucky series.
that's
coming
mainly
out.
what it is, I think.
Yeah,
Which is going to be a real winner.
we'll see.
When was the last? The last one was some Chucky with like Mark
Well,
Hamill.
they did the Mark Hamill. They did
that
a reboot.
That one. I mean, that's what I'm
where
thinking
he
of.
was like an AI.
That wasn't
went
very well
bad.
reviewed.
Yeah, it wasn't. They tried to change the story. You can't when you're dealing with a killer doll. Just go all out and do the possessed serial killer in the doll. And I mean, they did the Bride of Chucky with Jennifer Tilly, and then Seed
That's
of,
like 25 years ago.
it's
right?
a long
That was
time ago.
the
And then
mid-90s.
yeah,
right?
and then Seed of Chucky, which was also a long time ago, where they had a kid.
98 was Bride of Chucky.
Yeah,
I remember seeing it, but I was like 15.
and now she is back for the series. Jennifer Tilly is in the series.
As that character?
Unclear. I don't know. I haven't done enough of a deep dive. I've been following her on like Twitter and whatnot, but I don't know if she's playing the doll Tiffany or if somehow she's back in a human body or a completely different character, which is very possible too.
Who did that recently? Someone announced that in the new League of Their Own series, I saw that Rosie O'Donnell is back, but not as that character.
There's a League of Your Own series? Their own,
Coming to Amazon Prime.
huh? Did not know that.
Yeah. And Rosie O'Donnell plays a bartender. She's not her own.
Oh.
It's kind of like a Ghostbusters Answer the Call. Like, it's
Yeah.
not Janine, it's some
Right.
woman at the
Yeah,
desk.
He's not Winston. He's the uncle who owns a car dealership.
Right.
That's they're just dipping into the 90s, 80s and 90s well for TV shows now. We're watching the Turner and Hooch show too. So,
Well, I saw the Wonder Years. I saw the Wonder Years trailer today.
oh, I haven't seen that.
It actually looks really good. I kind of expected them to go like Goldberg's, where we're 20 more years,
Oh,
30 years, but it's still the 60s.
same era, different family.
Different family
Yeah.
in Montgomery. It's like a
Right.
black family
African-American
in
family,
which
right.
I think is really cool. I mean, it looks,
Completely different perspective,
but
for
it looks
sure.
really well done. But in my head, I just assumed, well, they're going to do this now for like our age group because I feel like
like they
like
went on
the
to,
Wonder Years was
yeah.
like for our parents who are like, oh yeah, we grew up in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
I like, okay, well, they're going to do this for us. This is kids who grew up in the 80s. And
Oh,
no.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Like I kind of thought the time would shift
Yeah.
to the next, but no. Because I feel like the Goldbergs is pretty much that.
Because Fred Savage would be like our parents now, right? Like they could do a show of him like in the 80s. As
Oh, like if it was the original. I
Yeah.
didn't think the original characters. I just thought it
No,
would be. Though he's the executive producer
Is he?
and the director.
I think because they're also, but we're way off track. They're doing a new Doogie Howser, only it's Doogie. I don't know how to say the last name. It's a Polynesian girl who becomes a doctor, and I think he's somehow Neil Patrick Harris is somehow involved. Anyway,
Back to what we're talking
back
about.
to Halloween Horror Nights.
They have the original
Kids
character.
TV.
They have James still out there being this character, so that's
Yeah.
fine. You
Yeah.
know, unlike Doogie Howser. No,
Oh, and I
So
wonder,
it's like-
and so I mean, are we going? Is the actual Chance coming back? Do we
doubt
know
it.
We don't
I
know.
really highly doubt
We
it. I
don't
mean,
know.
not that I have any inside information.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't perform that character when she had her own
Well, I mean,
year.
right? She did all the
Promo
media.
videos.
Yeah.
But no one, she was never actually at the park.
Really? Not at all, huh? She didn't even do any of the Scare Zone stuff.
Was not included in that.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah. We'll let her tell that story one day.
That's a bummer.
But, yeah, I think she was bummed about it too. So maybe though if there's a show, maybe there's something there. But that's still a little unclear. Still no announcement of shows. Heard a lot of rumors. Rumors that I don't know if the two of us are going to be super thrilled about, but like now another dance troupe.
Oh, really?
Like, this one's from Russia.
Boy.
Yeah. We're not the intended
I know a long time ago there were pictures of they covered the Fear Factor Live sign, so they were doing something.
I think there's definitely a show.
Something's going on in there, but
now there's obviously been big changes in theme parks the last few weeks with the return to masks at Disney and Universal still for guests as of whatever day this is, August 5th, has returned to only optional, but everyone on stage.
Even indoor?
Indoor for guests.
But team members.
But for team members, so what does that mean for your characters? And that is going to be it. I mean, that's just we don't know. That's a discussion point to have. You never know what's going to happen in the next month. But, I mean, we saw houses with masks last year.
Yeah.
Worse things could happen.
I mean, they were still fun.
Really fun.
We've already talked about this ad nauseum, but it definitely changes the dynamic.
What stinks is that I feel like they probably were not, much like last time. If you probably had enough time to prep for this, you could have prosthetics made for almost all of these characters that are masks.
That look like faces, but yeah.
That are, for the icons. Think about the icons.
Which I'm going to start coughing any minute now.
It's the heat.
They kind of, it is. I'm choking on heat.
The Tooth Fairy?
They did that with the Tooth Fairy house.
Yeah.
They had masks. I'm sure they probably had masks underneath those, which must have been very uncomfortable. So I'm sorry.
Well, that's when you look at Spider-Man Islands of Adventure, and it's Spider-Man with a mask. You can see the mask outline under his Spider-Man mask. It's a little awkward.
Yeah. Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah, I get
Need a minute? You getting emotional?
Choking on, yeah, I'm getting...
I'm looking at merch, too.
Up.
I sent you pictures. Merch dropped again. I was not there because, no one clued me in. No. Merch dropped today for a lot of the icons, so they released new cups, new shot glasses, some socks.
Saw blade.
In this one, I don't understand what... I'm sure we got to find... Let's just look into it for a minute. Maybe we can do some Googling. There's one that's just Jack, a cartoon head of Jack.
Face, yeah.
On is it a mouse pad? I feel like I don't think we live in a mouse pad world anymore.
I don't know. Is it a coaster? It's next to some shot glasses or toothpick holders, whichever you choose.
That looks like it'd be a very large coaster.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe it's just like a wall hanging. I don't know.
It could be just something nice to hang up in your bathroom.
I know people would love to hang that thing on their wall. And then I see the T-shirt, which is a very cool. The Icons T-shirt is cool, except I'm just not into the ringer tees.
Yeah. I don't feel like I'm not a big ringer man either.
I have one. I have one from the last time.
Kind of hurt.
Yeah, it's not. It makes me have thick necks.
Yeah, they're not comfortable. They feel like there's something on you, like there's someone pulling you down.
I think I'd like this one better because at least it's red. The one I have is white, and I just feel like I don't know. I do like it. I love the imagery.
Well, the Terra Queen is on that image.
Is she?
Yeah.
Let me make it big. Oh yeah, she is. She's right above the storyteller.
So maybe it says in Friends. So maybe there's
it's in more.
So maybe
she's on the glass. If we do skip ahead.
I know there are people who've been yelling at their podcast like, guys, it's all over the merch.
She's on the merch. Well, we're not.
The buttons came out.
Focused on the merch like some people. Yeah. Oh yeah, there she is. Terra Cruentis. And yeah, I mentioned this before, but on that Midnight Syndicate album that they put out last year in the hopes there'd be an event, there is a song called Terra Cruentis, something like that. I will say, just as a free plug, I've been listening to a lot of Midnight Syndicate lately.
Beyond this album?
Yes, as I've been working on...
what else do they...
What else
is there?
They have a whole slew of stuff on Apple Music. They've got one that's all circus-themed music, but it's all scary.
Okay, so
there's one that's like a Twisted Circus album and things like that. So, give them a free plug.
One thing also we should talk about that happened this morning that kind of broke before this big announcement was frequent fear passes, which I think have been largely debated. Whether Russia Fear and frequent fear passes were going to happen this year. I think everyone kind of honestly at this point, I had just assumed
Did you say Russia frequent fear passes?
There's Rush of Fear Pass.
Is that a Rush of Fear?
Rush of Fear, if you don't know, if you're new to Horror Nights, which a lot of you are, which welcome, it's like the first part of the year. So let's say you're only going in September.
Willkommen, bienvenue.
It's like most of the dates in September. Frequent Fear Pass then takes you through October, and then there's like different levels. There's Frequent Fear with Express. There's Unlimited Fear. There's so many different Ultimate Fear Passes. There's so many different options. It's not really worth going through. You guys can check them out yourself. I got a lot of questions. People ask me what I'm going to go with this year. I think it really depends. Looks like I'm going to be down there in September. October looks unlikely. So I think I'll probably be hitting it up twice in September. And, you never know. Sometimes that last second stuff happens.
Hey, man, last October looked unlikely.
I know.
It happened. Things just happen. I like living. Just be ready, man.
So Frequent Fear Plus, which gets you into 35 nights of Halloween Horror Nights. Pretty much every night. I think it is every night.
35 nights?
Mm-hmm.
So if you buy that pass, you can go 35 times.
Mm-hmm. It's $189.
That's nothing.
I said that. Some people were like, it's a little higher than I was expecting. I'm like, guys.
They want you to cross town down there. They want you to pay $6 to stay in a pretend spaceship with no windows for 2 days.
Yeah, I'm on the list.
I'm sure you are.
I did say that one. I may have to wait till there's no mask, though, because I don't know if I can deal with 2 days in the mask inside all day.
Oh, boy.
Frequent Fear with Express, $529. Which really...
just for Express. But,
it's
a big jump. When you can already go 35 nights, I don't know that you
need it. It's just whether you're going to want to
do all the houses in one night. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd go for the other one.
If I lived there,
that's the key.
Now there's the ultimate. God, there's so many. There's so many different ones.
The VVIP.
Yeah, the ultimate Halloween Horror Nights, which I guess that's even more. I'm looking at what it means. With Express, there's one that's $289. But I don't know. This isn't the podcast for this conversation because it's Ultimate Fear. That's all event nights. So the last one's 35 nights. Yeah. Does not include every night.
Okay.
All nights. Ultimate Fear starts at $284.
But not with Express Pass. But you can
Express
go
Pass
every
$729.
Night. Yeah. Oh. So with Express $729 for
every night.
With Express
$700. It's really not.
That seems like overkill.
It's high, but you assume not many people are doing that. That's very small.
I'm just saying. I think you could get by without the Express Pass. If you live there and you can go that many nights, I think you're going to get
I would upgrade to Express a couple times. And
that's true. You can do it on a
do once
day-by-day basis, right? Yeah. Well, there you go.
But if you were really into it, and this is your thing, $729, it's a lot. That's a chunk of change.
Yeah.
But if you were going to go legit every night, which I know people who do, which I feel like at some point I'd be like, okay.
So here, let me ask you a question. Given today's announcement,
and you only get in the Express Pass, say one time per night. Per house.
Right. But again, if you can go that many nights, if you can some nights you're going to get there and it's going to be dead, and you'll be like, I can do everything. With the announcement today of the Icons house, I don't know off the top of my head how many houses now that have been announced. But if we were to take all the ones that have been announced and all the ones that we know exist via one from last year.
Like, are we fully announced?
Do we know everything now?
I think, other than Scare Zones. And even those, after we said last time, like, I don't think they'll be putting out those props, because why would they? They
put everything.
They put everything out, which I know is promotion.
Yeah,
People are taking their pictures. I'm getting pictures from people all the time.
And that's as soon as those pictures dropped, was that 2 days ago, of the Icons? Mm-hmm. Look, we're getting an Icon Scare Zone. I'm like, or it could just be like, there's always one Scare Zone that just is a preview of what the houses are, right? Or pretty much always.
I think that's sort of a both.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be all of them lead you into the house.
Yeah.
Technically, there's still quite a bit not announced officially. But yeah, also, sadly, in some ways, the rumors have been pretty spot on.
Yeah. I believe that
even
the speculation map said Icons captured.
I know.
Golly, this guy does know something.
I mean, that's where it's a bit much. Like, when you even a lot of times there's an idea of like, this is going to be, I remember when there was a Tomb of the Damned or whatever it was called. What was that one called?
Temple of the Dog.
With the alligator head thing.
Oh, yeah. That was the year before I went, but I remember that.
Whatever that was. Temple of, like, people were like, I remember people telling me, like, there's a Tomb of the Ancients. They were like, there's an Egyptian themed house. They didn't say on those speculations, Tomb of the Ancients. Now it's like, there's the name, Halloween Horror Nights Icons captured.
But it's funny, I was thinking about, or did we talk about this, or maybe we talked about it on the show, how we always joked that there was always a Tooth Fairy house for years, and then Patrick Braillard said, yeah, I mean, it was out there for a while. We've been talking about it for years. It's just never happened.
And hey, he jumped ship over to SeaWorld.
I saw that.
So good for him. We've had him on the show a bunch of times. So happy for him to have landed somewhere pretty cool. I know they're doing their big event this year. I'm not 100% sure I'll make it because Horror Nights is the week before the opening weekend, and I don't think I can make another trip that soon. And it's whether I decide to go to Horror Nights again the next trip or to work over to SeaWorld. I think it probably depends on some reviews coming out of SeaWorld.
You know, I haven't been to SeaWorld in forever and a day. Where are they going to do houses? They don't have like sound stages, do they? So
no, I think they probably
put
pop up
tents
and things. Yeah.
Right.
I don't really know a whole lot about
SeaWorld.
SeaWorld.
I don't know what Busch Gardens does, and they've been doing it for years.
I think similar.
Tents. And, you know, anything with these houses and stuff can still change and fall out. I mean, there was visual evidence that Hollywood was doing Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, and I was told now that's been changed.
Oh, has it? I haven't been paying attention to Hollywood.
Basically, Hollywood's getting all recycled houses with, like, I think 2 exceptions.
I wonder if they just know that it's just not.
And I was told
California,
it's a budgetary thing.
Yeah, California maybe just hasn't
Just
gotten
didn't
there
have
yet.
the money to put into houses. But
Yeah.
Again, this is all rumor. This is third, fourth, fifth party rumors. So.
I could see that, though. California hasn't really gotten fully back on track yet in terms of, I think, theme park admission. And
yeah, like they're getting a couple they just had. So it's like, ugh. But, hey, I mean, look, it's better than nothing. Somebody sent me the other day, somebody DM me or PM me on Twitter, whichever it is, and it was a screen cap of when they announced the Yeti house, Terror of the Yukon. But I saw it for a split second. I'm like, are they doing it again? And I actually,
excited. Yeah.
For a moment, got excited because I'm like, I love that house. But I was like, oh, I see. This is from 2 years.
Yeah, when
ago.
they redid American Werewolf, I was excited because I loved that house.
Oh, I would love to see that.
Yeah, so I think if it's a big enough, if it's a big enough hit, why not do it again?
Closest I came to that is I'm pretty sure they recycled those puppets for the Trick or Treat house.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Which was fine.
I'm trying to see what was the big question we had. Oh, what was that mouse pad thing? I'm trying to see if I can
the
find
saw blade. Yeah,
trying to do some digging to see if I can find out what that is.
But see, that's the thing. I don't know. I would feel like they would use the theater to do a Jack show, similar to the one they did at 25.
All right, the merch is now online, so we can find out.
Okay.
This was just posted by James Keaton.
All right.
Let me see here. Let me scroll down. It is wall decor.
It is just wall decor.
Just wall decor. Saw blade with an evil clown.
Mm-hmm.
Something your kids will love. $35 for that one.
I know a certain Englishman that'll have that hanging on his wall.
I'm sure.
If they get here.
I know. I saw he posted.
Lord willing.
So a lot of people from England were like, I'm buying my
They
frequent
bought their
fear.
frequent
So I was
fear.
like, is there a caveat?
I like it. I like the fire. I like the optimism.
Is there a caveat? I mean, you can go, right?
I don't know what the rules are.
I have people going to England next week.
We can go there, but for some reason we're not. I don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I fully get the.
You know.
You want to buy any of this merch?
What's that Country Joe and the Fish song? Whoopee, we're all going to die. So just let them come. Come on, let's go.
I almost brought you my Jack I'm Back shirt as your birthday present.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, I've already worn this. I feel like I'm giving you something like, here's my old
it's
shirt.
Not like I haven't worn pre-worn clothes.
It's already gone to the dry cleaner.
Yeah, but you gave me a very nice birthday present anyway, so I'm very happy.
I did, but I thought about it because I was like, what can I get him? I have that 3X that guy traded me in the shady business deal I did inside Williams of Hollywood, or whatever it was.
Today, what did we say? Today is the 5th?
I think that's right.
So we have how many days to lose like 50 pounds?
Yeah, we got like 23 days.
I'm heading in the right direction, but I'm not where I want to be
good.
yet.
Yeah.
Well, it's been, the birthday and the being sick.
Like I went to Beach Bend Park, which I thought, I'm not going to fit into a lot of these rides. I did okay. I think I was over the line for the water slides.
Yeah.
But that was like I would have to lose 110 pounds.
Yeah.
It was like, you're over 200 pounds. Yeah. It's not happening. I'm like, I don't even think this is worth even walking up here.
It's just not going to happen, whatever you do.
And they had a scale you had to step on,
yeah,
which was real fun.
It's like, have you ever, this is Universal related, have you ever done Pteranodon flyers when you have to have a kid? You were able to go on it?
Well, I went on before that, before they had I went on like a 99.
Oh, really?
Like forever. So I was only like 14.
Oh, so you were still kind of a kid.
I was kind of a kid. And I remember in my head, it looks visually awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very slow moving.
Is it?
Not exciting ride. So I remember being because the line was huge when it opened.
Yeah.
Because it's like The capacity is like 2 people
And
every
you think
3
you're
or
going
4
to be
minutes.
zipping around the...
No, I mean, it at least wasn't when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I remember even as a 14-year-old being like, this is kind of lame.
Now, see, as someone who, confession time, has a bit of a fear of heights, to me, it actually is kind of scary. Like, I'm kind of glad I haven't been
It's
able
just
to.
very slow.
I have an excuse.
I'm trying to pull up it's been so long. I mean, it's been 20 plus years since I've ridden it. 'Cause I think I did it then and that was it.
It's
Because you're like in a swing
Yeah.
ride vehicle.
Right.
No, I mean, you're looking at this. I mean, you're barely moving.
But you're hanging under the rope.
This looks way actually more intense than I remember.
See? Maybe they greased it up. I mean, people were
Not really.
complaining.
It's also 1 minute and 12 seconds. Which
Yeah.
is like, that's pretty. By the time you get up the hill, it's actually only a 40-second ride. And that line can get to be like 2 hours.
Man, it's an interesting year. We got Velocicoaster opening, or just open, and the Horror Nights. It's going to be a good time. I don't care. If we got to wear masks, so be it.
I mean, I'll do it. I'm not going to say no.
I'll bring my little vaccination card.
I don't think I think that they would have maybe made that decision
Get
already.
it laminated. I mean, I don't know. Anything.
I know this sounds bad because I don't want to wear a mask there for sure. I'd much rather be vaccinated, all that stuff. Stay away from people. I'd rather do that than, especially in the heat in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more bummed though that likely maybe this means plexi and likely this means masks on the characters.
Yes,
because I can
agreed.
just whatever. I don't care what I look like. I mean, I look disgusting every year of Halloween Horror Nights. I walk around just covered in sweat. I look nasty already. I really want I love the characters and the design and all that. That's to me like the one part. It's like, oh, that's what stinks because maybe you're not going to get a full experience.
Yeah, I really don't want to. I don't want the plexiglass to be there, but we're just.
But again, we'll deal.
We're gonna see what happens.
Yeah,
it is what it is. At least we're there, and it's better than not being there. This is cool, man. I'm excited. This is probably my most anticipated house right now. I would think. Let me think.
Yeah, this and Beetlejuice I think is up there for me.
Yeah, I keep forgetting we haven't even seen Beetlejuice.
I like that I'll be able to kind of have re-experience a lot of these because those original Icon years were my glory days.
Yeah.
When I went the most, probably, or when I was the most, I was young and excited, and it brings me back 20 years in time. And even like they put up, I saw the marquee to the Scare Zone that says Halloween Horror Nights. That's very reminiscent of the ones from the 90s and the early 2000s. And I really miss that. I miss sort of the big marquees that you would get when you'd walk through that made it feel a little more special because the Halloween Horror Nights didn't take over the whole park kind of like it does now. It was like, you were out of a Scare Zone. You didn't even really know you were at Halloween Horror Nights back in the early 2000s.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you something. I'm doing quick math in my head. I'm listening, but so we now officially know we know Texas Chainsaw, Bride of Frankenstein, Haunting of Hill House, Beetlejuice, and Icons.
Only 5?
You're right. And then now we know there's the puppet thing. That's 6, and we've seen the sign for Scary.
That's true. That's
Scary.
about it.
That's 7. So do we still have 3 more? We don't know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think so.
Did I conclude Tooth Fairy in that? No, and Tooth Fairy.
So 2 more.
But that means there's 2 more we don't know yet.
Yeah. There could be genuine surprises.
Yeah.
And maybe that puppet theater got scrapped. I don't know.
And I don't remember what I don't know. I bet it didn't. I bet that's happening.
Did you say the Haunting of Hill House?
I did.
Okay.
Now I know the
House on Haunted Hill?
one of the what
Haunt on Hill.
Yeah.
Haunt on Haunted Hill House?
Haunting Hill House. There's a rumored like a pumpkin house or something, isn't there, or something? But I don't know. I don't know. So do we have all the IPs? You have 1, 2, 3, 4 IP houses.
I think there's one more,
There's got to be one more, right?
at least.
We got
The heat's starting to get to me.
Beetlejuice, Chainsaw, Bride of Frankenstein, Haunting Hill House. That's 4 IP houses.
Yeah, so maybe one more.
Maybe.
If it's 5 and 5.
I don't know. It's exciting. So we do still have a lot of news yet to be unleashed.
Yeah, in under a month.
Yeah, that's what's crazy.
I would have thought, honestly, today.
What is today? Thursday? Oh.
Yeah, I mentioned that I thought the announcement was going to come Tuesday and got a little bit later when they started putting up the Scare Zone stuff. And I thought, we'll get the Icons house and we'll get the Scare Zones.
I mean, we got to get one a week now, or else they're just going to do a big info
I think,
dump.
yeah, eventually they got to dump it all out. I mean, at this point, you're trying to sell tickets.
Yeah. Interesting, man. Well, that's exciting now. I mean, for so long it's been, I don't know, are we going to get an announcement? When are we going to get an announcement? Now it's like, well,
now we roll it.
We're going to be getting, I mean, they might throw us a curveball and make another announcement this week.
Yeah, could get one later today.
I doubt it, but it's,
Stranger things have happened.
Stranger Things. It's going to be Stranger Things season 4.
Well, Which is coming out when? No,
we don't know.
They haven't said. They said maybe by the end of the year.
Next summer, didn't they?
No, I think they said by the end of the year.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't even know that. So that's exciting. All right, good.
According to my son's friend, who is a Stranger Things aficionado, he was telling me he thinks by the end of the year.
Your son's friend is a Stranger Things aficionado, and he's how old?
8.
Okay, all right.
I thought, he's one of. I thought he was like a kid bluffing.
Yeah.
You know, like a kid who's like, I see everything. And then he starts getting into real details.
It's like, when the mind flare turned those people into goo.
He kept talking about mind flares.
Oh, boy.
He's like, and I told him about the Horror Nights house. Like, I got to see this. Did you see the mind flare? I was like, yeah.
Actually, yes, we did. And you can't see it.
Right?
I guess you can see it on YouTube. Enough people vlog it.
I almost brought it up for him. I was like, I feel like I'm just not this kid's parent. I can't show him this.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
All right, should we wrap up?
I mean, we're dying. I feel.
I know. How long we been going in there? Y'all know?
I feel like we're in Orlando right now, sitting outside.
Give me like a visual. How many minutes we've been going? It's not that we don't want to keep talking, but we're 30? 30, right on the dot.
30?
Perfect. This is what I call a perfect show.
I don't know. I think we got to go for another 15.
Now you're talking. Well, we can do plugs now.
Oh, what?
Plugs.
Oh, yeah. What was I talking? You said you're talking. What was I saying?
I don't know.
What were you saying? I was saying.
You got Emily Moonlight too.
Yes, which is not the actual title, but the sequel to Emily Moonlight.
Return to Emily Moonlight.
I'm working on right now. So that's why, and I've been, like I said, using Midnight Syndicate as some inspirational background music as I'm working on that.
Cats of the Novella.
Oh, that's true. I did put up the first 2 chapters. If I throw this one more time, the first 2 chapters of the Cats of the Castle Dark Ages is on Kindle Vella. Good luck.
Which, if you understand what that is, you're beyond us.
Let me know.
Yeah. You're basically releasing a book in podcast form, or like you're chapter by chapter, like a comic book.
Like
you said,
it's
with no
a comic
pictures.
book without pictures.
You pay with tokens.
It's a serialized story. You, the reader, have to buy tokens and somehow pay tokens, and I don't.
I feel like they can make this easier.
They're trying something new, and I like the idea. Mm-hmm. It's a fun project for authors. I don't know if it is necessarily for readers.
It was like that the thing on Twitter they just discontinued, like lenses or whatever.
Did they fleets, right?
Fleets. They're like, we're done.
That was like what, 2 months?
Jack
maybe?
was like, he goes, it was pretty funny. He's like, either I'm sorry or you're welcome. Fleets are no longer here. This was like their TikTok, right?
Yeah, or like
Instagram
stories or whatever. I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, like, remember a couple of years ago, Instagram started Instagram TV.
Mm-hmm. IGTV,
and it's still there, but I
post sometimes long form stuff.
Yeah, on occasion I'll get one, keep watching, but for the most part, it's like if it's either story.
People are, I think, realizing what they're using the content for. People weren't going to Twitter and Twitter kills stuff off
to do videos.
Like, they bought Vine, and we're just like, eh.
Yeah, we don't need to kill it. I know, jerks. And then of course I'm working on my own Jungle Cruise movie script.
I haven't seen it yet. The real Jungle Cruise movie.
You know what? It's weird. I didn't love it, but and I will say this: it's definitely a little spooky for young kids.
Yeah, that's been honestly one of the reasons, because I'm like, I can't watch this late at night with the kids.
There's a couple of jump scares that got me. Might have been other reasons for that, but I was like,
I told you they don't love horror.
Yeah,
he had a jump scare.
But the story, they just tried so hard to make another Pirates of the Caribbean, and it just, I don't know.
But I wasn't clicking for you. I plan on watching it. I just haven't.
Since we have it, I started watching it again the other night, and there are elements of it that I really like and enjoy. So I'm just saying, decide for yourself. See it. Honestly, if it's just you, I'd say just go to a matinee at a theater. Don't pay the $30. But if you've got a family, it's cheaper to just pay it at home, which is what we did. There's cool stuff to it. Do you
feel like visually would have been a better experience?
Visually, it probably would have been much better on the big screen.
And would that have changed your opinion on the movie? Because I feel that way, like with Raya and the Last Dragon. I have a much closer affinity for that movie because we saw it.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful.
That was the first movie I saw back on a big screen in a theater.
I think that was the last one.
I don't know, but man, like, I hate to say this because I love The Rock, but he's very stiff in this movie. Like, he's doing the Jungle Cruise jokes as like dialogue, and it's like, what's happening here? So, I mean, they did use a Metallica song as part of the score.
I saw a news story about that.
Yeah,
like Nothing Else Matters or something.
Is it nothing? Yeah, Nothing Else. Because I'm like watching the movie,
like as an instrumental.
It's just like you hear this like Spanish guitar, and it's like, I'm like, boy, this sounds a lot like Nothing Else Matters by Metallica, and then it just kept going, and I'm like, this is so much. That's so weird. And then I looked it up later, and sure enough, it's on the soundtrack. It says Nothing Else Matters featuring Metallica, but it's by James Newton Howard. So
that's strange.
Yeah. So I don't know. Go if you're a theme park fan. And there's a lot of references. Every reference to the movie made me happy. But then it just
to the ride,
goes,
you mean?
I'm sorry. Every reference in the movie to the ride made me happy.
And there was a decent amount of that?
In the beginning, but then it just goes off into some other world, and there's snake people, and there's a guy made out of bees and honey. And
my kid said this just feels like every time they see the trailer, like, this is Jumanji.
It's kind of like Jumanji, and
I loved this Jumanji.
It's like Jumanji, and the second Pirates of the Caribbean movie had a baby.
Okay.
And it was The Rock.
And that's not my favorite Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
It's not. I don't think it's anybody's. There's probably a few people, but
I like the Davy Jones.
I like the look of it, but it's just the movie's not good. Okay. And that's kind of the way I felt about this.
All right, I'll watch it and I'll give my thoughts to you later date. So get all of Bart's books.
Mm-hmm.
Sign on to his Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
Support this man. Keep him afloat.
Or just follow me on Twitter.
Or just do that.
What is your Twitter? At
Andrew?
At B Andrew Scott. That's right.
You're there.
Yeah.
I know. I think you just started following this show.
I started a new one like a month ago. After I deleted mine for a few months because I hate Twitter, but also kind of feel like it's important to have. So I don't know.
I'm somewhere in the middle. I hate it, but I do exist. I don't tweet very much.
When you work in media of any kind, it's kind of good to have it, I guess. And it's nice to be able to kind of contact anybody, but on the other hand, it's also
that's the one thing. It's nice to communicate.
Double-edged sword because anybody can communicate with you.
Yeah. We know you're listening. All right. Well, and for me, if you're looking for a place to stay, this is what I always promote. Check out Airbnb.com, where we have the world-famous Airbnb vacation rental. It is available throughout some of the nights for Horror Nights, but I have to tell you, it is filling up very quick throughout the end of the year. And if you are looking for a holiday, Thanksgiving or Christmas, we have very few availabilities left, but there are some. Go to Airbnb.com. I want to encourage everyone, look at the availability calendar, see if your dates are there. But then click contact. Don't just book, because I at least try to help you. If I can't get you a big discount, which is harder these days, get you a big discount, I'll at least try to give a perk, throw something in. And now, like I said before, included in it, spend your nights at Horror Nights and your days at the Reunion Water Park is included free with your stay. So it's pretty cool.
And I will say, to tag on to your ad here, is as someone who has stayed at like Cabana Bay during Halloween Horror Nights, trying to get back to the hotel after is such a nightmare. And if you miss that last bus, which I also did, have fun with that $20 Uber ride to go across the street or whatever it is.
So it's not much. It's not much better.
You might as well go. Yeah, why not just book a house, get in the car, and go and
let your party separate.
It's a lot.
Take a shower.
That's true. Yeah, multiple showers, which is nice.
Yeah, you could try all of them out.
Yeah.
I try to use all the bathrooms.
I mean, not the same. That'd be weird. You're just running from shower to shower.
I try to use all the bathrooms in my stay.
Why not? You should. I
don't use all of them. I use all the ones that are not being occupied. Mainly make sure they're running right. I flush them all.
Anytime I stay in a hotel, I make a point to sit in like every piece of furniture at some point, even just for a minute. Just as all right, I use
pants
that.
on.
What's that? With pants, yes.
Yeah.
Not to use the bathroom, just to sit in it.
Just clarify. All right, well, let's wrap up. That's at Airbnb.com. Thank you all for listening. And as always, keep your eyes closed, your ears open, and we'll see you at Finnegan's.